Hello, today we're doing Geometry Part 1 from Lesson 1-3. This is problem number 2, example problem number 2 on page 21. If you look here, this is using the segment addition postulate. It says if EG is 59, that's the length of the whole unit there. Anyway, if EG is 59, then what are EF and FG? So if you'll notice here, EF is described as 8x minus 14, and FG is given as 4x plus 1. Now, that's what all this is what you know. Then, what we need to find is, of course, EF and FG. We can add those two together to get the one big length. So that's what this is showing you right here, that EF plus FG equals EG. Now, if EF is 8x minus 14 and FG is 4x plus 1, then again, as a total, they're going to add up to be 59. So when I add those two together, that's where they get the 12x minus 13 equals 59. Move the 13 or add the 13 to the other side, and when you do, that's going to end up being 12x equals 72. And then, of course, when you divide both sides by 12, x ends up being 6. Okay. Now that we find what x is, we've not solved the problem, but we're much closer than we were before. Now we're going to have to take the value of x, which is 6, and we're going to substitute it in. So if you'll remember, EF was 8x minus 14. So if I put a 6 in for the x and literally come up with a value, 8 times 6 is 48 minus 14, which leaves me with a total of 34. So the length of EF is going to be 34. Now, same way, FG was 4x plus 1. So if I substitute the 6 in for the x, that's 4 times 6 plus 1, which is really 24 plus 1, or a total of 25. And that's how we find the 2. Now, let's look at the problem 2 together and kind of work it out together. All right. So in this diagram, the same as the example, JL is 120. What is JK and KL? Well, remember JK from over here is 4x plus 6. If I add that to KL, which is 7x plus 15, then together, those are going to equal 120. All right? Now, combine like terms, you're going to get 11x, and then 6 and 15 together makes 21, and that ends up being equal to 120. If I subtract the 21 over to this side, I'm going to end up with 11x equals 99. If I then divide both sides by 11, then x ends up being 9. Now, for the same reason as before, I have solved the key element, which is the x, but it still doesn't give me the answer. To find JK, I'm going to have to go back up and substitute in here. So 4 times 9 plus 6 is really 36 plus 6, which ends up being 42. And then to find KL, which is the 7x plus 15, I'm going to put 7 times 9 plus 15, which again, that ends up being 63 plus 15, for a total of 78. So KL ends up being 78 and JK ends up being 42. Hope this was helpful.